It's 4:30 and this is WKYT This Morning. Carefree and sweet. That's how people are remembering a 5-year-old Owsley County girl who died in a house fire. We'll hear from someone who knew her ahead this morning.
For the 5th time this week, someone has called in a bomb threat to a local Walmart. What police are saying coming up.
And a Central Kentucky community is remembering an officer who was ambushed and killed 3 years ago. Family members say they will not let it become a cold case.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning from WKYT. Welcome in on May 26th, Thursday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain, and yes, it's Thursday. One more day, right?
That's right. And
yes.
A lot of folks have a little time off, hopefully, to enjoy for the Memorial Day weekend. And if you're making plans, you hope the weather cooperates. Meteorologist Micah Harris is in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, and it looks like we're having some showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder out and about. Let's check out First Alert, the Fender live radar. There's the shot outside, and yeah, those storms are showers really rolling through. We are having a couple of rumbles of thunder as you work your way back toward Woodford County, right along the Bluegrass Parkway heading toward Lexington. Lexington will pick it up here in just about 15 to about 30 minutes, and it all depends on where you are there in Fayette County. The rest of the day, we actually have just a couple of rumbles of thunder, so the best opportunity for rain is actually this morning. At 84 degrees, we'll go over this forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then. In the news, 1 person is dead and 3 are injured after a 3-car crash in Casey County.
The crash happened around 9 last night on Highway 70. It's about 6 miles west of Liberty. State police say they are still trying to figure out how it happened. Highway 70 was closed for hours last night as police investigated. Police have not released any other information at this time. Carefree and sweet, that's how people are remembering a 5-year-old Owsley County girl who died in a house fire. State police say Jordan Harold died early yesterday morning when the house on Old Highway 11 near Boonville caught fire. Her mother and younger sister survived. WKYT's Monique Blair talked to a friend of the family about Jordan.
She said Jordan was still in the house. Like I said, we could hear her, we just couldn't see her.
Neighbors say they tried to save 5-year-old Jordan Harold, but the fire was just too intense.
Glass started breaking. The entire house just went up in flames. We didn't hear him.
Family friend Brittany Schaus tells us Harold graduated from a Head Start school just this month, and she was known as a little girl who left footprints on the lives of everyone she encountered.
We want her to be remembered for the carefree, spontaneous, spunky, full of life little girl that she was.
Harold's family was not ready to release a picture of her to the public, but right now they are asking for the community's support.
The family is really dependent on each other right now. You know, that's all they have left. They lost everything last night, so they're really just leaning on each other.
A GoFundMe page has been set up for Harold's family to help with funeral costs. And if you can't donate money, Schaus says there's something else the family is asking for.
Just prayers. They really need them right now.
State police are asking for anyone who may have seen anything suspicious in the area of this home before the fire started to contact them. Investigators have not yet said what caused this fire. You can find a link to the GoFundMe page set up for the family at WKYT.com.
Lexington police say for the 5th time this week, someone has called in a bomb threat to one of the city's Walmarts. This time it was the Walmart on Richmond Road. Police say a male caller claimed there was a bomb inside the store that would explode in 5 minutes. The store was evacuated as a precaution, but police say a bomb-sniffing dog did not find anything. The store has since reopened. Police say the call is very similar to other bomb threats at the city's other Walmart stores. They are investigating to see if they're connected. A Central Kentucky community honored a police officer killed in the line of duty just over 3 years ago. Investigators say Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis was ambushed on the Bluegrass Parkway. Police have not made any arrests for the murder. People in Bardstown gathered last night for a vigil.
It's nearly 16 miles from the Bardstown Police Department to the cemetery where their brother is buried. To get there, they take the route he took home every night. They get off the parkway where he got out of his car one of those nights to move debris blocking the ramp. And they pass the spot he was ambushed, shot, and killed on that night 3 years ago.
This is the final call. Forget 139 Adam.
As they gather around his grave, they light candles and remember a man no one here can ever forget.
I live in this county. Every time I go by the 34, I hit my horn and I think about him. And like I said, I mean, to say he was a great guy is just an understatement.
You don't have to go far in the community Officer Ellis served to discover the impact his loss had on this town, to see folks here still want answers. His picture remains in the window of shops downtown. After all, without answers, it's a wound even time can't heal.
We begged and asked the public for anything, and we've not received anything that is that aha moment. Nothing. And that's the troubling part.
That's why family members say they won't let this become another cold case. In Nelson County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And Officer Ellis's canine partner, Figo, now lives with the officer's mother-in-law.
Commonwealth Credit Union is warning people about emails claiming to be from them asking for your account information. Credit union leaders say they received calls from people saying they received the email which claimed people's accounts had been locked and access to their cards would be blocked. Now the email tells people they must click an attached link to verify their account information. But the credit union says this is just a scam.
Make sure that it is who it says it is from. Stop, look at the address, or even go off and pull up the address, or contact us, or contact the financial institution, or contact Commonwealth Credit Union. We're going to tell you, no, do not go there.
The credit union says they will never ask for your account number through email, and during any phone call, they will go through security questions to verify who they're speaking with. The credit union says they are confident no customer information has been compromised.
New this morning, an eastern Kentucky family is still waiting for answers more than a year after a loved one disappeared. Natasha Fugate Jones has not been seen since May 7th of last year. Police say she disappeared from her home in Knott County. Jones is the mother of 2 young boys. Family members say they fear something bad happened to Jones.
If you just had some closure, if you just know. That's what's so hard. You know that somebody knows, but they don't have the guts to tell.
State police are still investigating the case, but they say they have no new leads to follow up. A judge has cleared the way for a Confederate monument to be removed in Louisville. Yesterday, the Jefferson Circuit judge lifted a restraining order that barred the city of Louisville from moving the statue from its current place near the University of Louisville campus. Louisville city leaders announced last month that they planned to remove the statue, but after the sons of Confederate veterans complained, the judge issued a temporary restraining order. The judge has lifted it now after hearing testimony from the monument's supporters yesterday.
A new statewide survey has some troubling results about bullying in schools. The survey conducted by the Kentucky Center for School Safety found many school principals in the state have not received any training on how to carry out policies to prevent student bullying. Half of those surveyed said they were only given copies of the district's anti-bullying policies without any training. And many principals said they were frustrated by the amount of cyberbullying going on. More than 600 principals participated in the survey.
Today, state election leaders will recanvass the results of Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary. Bernie Sanders requested it. Results showed him losing to Hillary Clinton by less than 2,000 votes in last week's primary. The Kentucky Democratic Party says Clinton would receive 28 of Kentucky's delegates and Sanders would receive 27 if the results stand. The recanvass involves reviewing election results statewide, and it begins at 9 o'clock this morning. A 13-year-old Lexington native is one of nearly 300 participants of this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee. Tirza Scanding made it past the preliminary rounds, but last night we learned that she did not advance to today's finals. Tirza spelled all of the words correctly, but our news partners at the Herald Leader report that she did not pass the preliminary written exam, meaning she didn't have enough points to make it to the final round. But still represented well, didn't she?
Good for her.
Yeah, congratulations going that far. All right, 4:39 the time, and WKYT this morning is just getting started.
Yes, we are. When children grow up and move out of the house, it's a big adjustment for everyone. We'll hear from some recent empty nesters after the break.
We have some showers, even a rumble of thunder out and about. We're going to go over what you can expect the rest of the work week and off into your weekend coming up.
Now, your hour hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have some showers and a few rumbles of thunder outside early this morning. This may wake a few people up as we track along the next couple of hours. Here's in Fayette County coming out of Woodford County and also Jessamine County picking up a thunderstorm at this moment. I'll zoom on in there and show you exactly where it is and where it's moving. Downtown Lexington will pick it up here in just about 10 minutes. Northern section and Masterson Station and work up toward the Kentucky Horse Park. You're going to be seeing that here in about 5 to 10 minutes. Georgetown, you will get clipped by the northern extent of this. Even some lightning strikes going on. Nicholasville getting a heavy downpour. But downtown Lexington, like I said, about 10 minutes. The western zones in about 10 to about 15 minutes, I would say, is when this moves on through. Really heavy downpour within that. And you're getting brief downpours here and there, anywhere from Stanford to now Waynesburg showing up with a heavy downpour across 27, and that's in southern Lincoln County moving eastbound. If you're in northern portions of, say, Pulaski County, that Eubank area picking up on some of that rain. A brief heavy downpour, and remember, these don't last long. These are just a few minutes, and then they move on out. And then Somerset picking up on some heavy rain, too. You still got a little bit more to go. That's moving eastbound, so in the Mountain Victory area and then over toward Laurel County. Laurel County, this moves on in here in about 30 minutes or so, and then you work your way down toward Whitley City. About to get out on the action now. Whitley City, once it starts raining, it's going to take some time because we still have some back toward Lake Cumberland. Russell Springs down 127 all the way into Clinton County. Powersburg, Monticello getting in on the action. You still have about an hour before all this tries to move on out. Temperatures are there in the 60s. We get into the afternoon. We'll be in the 80s again this afternoon. That's the third consecutive day. And also with the chance at a couple of rumbles of thunder. The best rain chance is actually this morning. Afternoon is a smaller chance off into the evening hours, but there's still a chance. But yeah, you can get out and knock out some of those plans. Let's check out your 7-day forecasts. No real changes in the forecast. I'd say if I did change anything, I bumped Saturday, Sunday, and Monday up just 10% from what I had the past couple of days. So a few rumbles still expected every single day as you travel throughout your work week and off into your holiday weekend, but still don't cancel plans. These are still no washouts, but heavy downpours like we're seeing this morning.
That's the story.
Yeah,
all right. Thank you, Micah. It is 4:45 right now. Feeling sad that your children will be leaving the nest at some point?
On Moms Every Day, we have some parents who say it's a difficult transition, but it does get easier.
Before your kids grow up and move out of the house, you may joke about how you can't wait for the momentous occasion. But the reality is, when kids leave the nest, it can be a big adjustment. We spoke with some empty nesters for their take.
My name is Maria. I'm married to Matt, and we have an only child, Alexander. And Alexander was everything to us since he was born.
I'm married for almost 24 years to my husband, Chuck, and we have 2 daughters, Kaylee, who's 21, and Emily, who's 19.
We would talk about what are we going to do when the kids would leave, and most of the mothers were very, very sad.
It does get easier, and we just grow with them. You know, the relationship that we have with our daughters is awesome. I'm fortunate my girls like to call me or text me, and if they're not telling me something, they usually call their dad instead.
I came back home, I thought I was fine, and 2 days into it, I can't even explain it. I could cry about it right now. This sadness came over me that I did not expect. It felt weird. He wasn't in his room anymore.
My relationship with both my daughters has changed. You know, now you start treating them as an adult.
And one advice that I got from one of my friends was, Maria, you are always going to be his mother. And that clicked, and I thought, I am always going to be his mother.
Hear more from these moms at momseveryday.com.
For these tips and more, just go to WKYT.com and click on Moms Every Day.
And it's so good to have you with us here on WKYT this morning as we get this day underway. A lot more news coming up. 4:47 is our time right now.
Texas is suing the federal government over the guidance that U.S. public schools must allow transgender students to use the bathrooms they identify with. Which other states are involved when we come back? Welcome back to WKYT this morning. Your time is 4:50. Texas is leading the charge against the federal government's guidance that U.S. public schools must allow transgender students to use the bathrooms they identify with.
The state's attorney general filed a lawsuit against the Obama administration yesterday on behalf of 11 states. Don Champion has the latest.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said the federal government overstepped when it told schools to let transgender students use the restrooms that correspond with their gender identity.
President Obama has excluded the voice of the people. We stand today to ensure that those voices are heard.
Paxton filed a lawsuit on behalf of his state and 10 others. The plaintiffs argue the Obama administration, quote, conspired to turn workplaces and educational settings across the country into laboratories for a massive social experiment. The government's May 13th letter to school districts carries no legal weight, but it suggests anyone who defies the instructions could be penalized.
We didn't start the fight, but we will carry it to it.
The White House had no comment on the lawsuit filed in federal court here in Texas. The Justice Department is reviewing the complaint.
It released a statement saying, quote, the federal government has strong legal foundations to uphold the civil rights of transgender Americans. This college student worries transgender people will be denied their civil rights if the lawsuit is successful.
These people are people. They're not a statistic. They're not a number. These are your friends. These are your family members.
The Texas Attorney General says he's ready to fight the issue all the way to the Supreme Court. Don Champion, CBS News, Dallas.
9 of the 11 states that are part of the lawsuit are led by Republican governors. Kentucky is not among the states taking part.
A grand jury has indicted a man in connection to a crash in Bell County that killed 2 people. Anthony Brewer faces charges of leaving the scene of an accident and driving on a suspended license. In March, police say his tractor trailer hit a car on US 119 near Pineville, but they say Brewer didn't stop. 31-year-old Lavonda Hensley and a Tennessee man were killed. Some items stolen from a Franklin County boat have been returned, and they came with an apology note from the thief. Frankfort police say a man was caught on camera stealing a boat from the Frankfort Boat Club last weekend. They say he took the boat down the river to pick up 3 friends. Police say the man later broke into other boats and at the boat club. The next morning, police say the stolen boat was found, but some of the items on it were missing.
There's some test equipment off of one of the houseboats on down the dock, and then a flat screen TV off of another houseboat, and I think they got some of those adult beverages off of a boat.
After police posted surveillance pictures on Facebook Tuesday and we aired a story at 11, police say the stolen items were left on the doorstep of one of the boat owners. A note apologizing for the theft was also included. Police say they're still looking for the 4 other suspects.
The Lexington Opera House has announced the lineup for its 40th season of Broadway Live. The announcement came during a gala season preview event at the Opera House, which featured scenes of the national touring productions coming to Lexington during the 2016-2017 season. The shows are Barefoot in the Park, Cinderella, Rent, Pippin, and The Midtown Men. For more information on ticket prices and packages, we have a link to that for you at WKYT.com. Sounds like some good shows.
Yeah, Cinderella. I want to check that out.
Good entertainment coming. All right, 4:53, almost 4:54 now here on WKYT on your Thursday morning.
We'll have another look at your morning forecast coming up.
Welcome back into WKYT this morning. The time is 4:57.
It's time to take a look at some of the stories we're working on this morning.
And state election leaders are going to be recanvassing the results of Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary today. What that means for Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton coming up in our next half hour. And a lot of news to get to you this morning, but we also are watching weather. We've actually had some rain and even a couple of storms rumble through parts of our viewing area.
Yeah, when I walked out the door, I said, I got to get my jacket,
what's this all
my
about?
raincoat,
I did
right?
too. I all of a sudden needed wipers this morning.
Right, and now it's continuing to sprout up, and you're seeing one lone thunderstorm out there in Fayette County. It's really the western zones of Fayette County and also Jessamine County, but it's heading eastbound. So if you're downtown or if you're over on the eastern portion, heads up. Here comes a heavy, brief downpour, and that's what you're getting down south too. We're going to go over what you can expect later on this afternoon and your weekend coming up.